Good morning. This is an update on specifically on the tomatoes, how I keep them as well as how I form them. As you can see, all of my tomatoes are bare about 6-7 inches, and in some places bigger. I clean up all of the bottom leaves. It allows for a better circulation, especially in our hot, humid air. You don't want to have diseases. I also cut out all of the suckers. You can see these little formations right here. You can see where one of them was cut off. Right there. So the suckers actually take a lot of strength out of the tomatoes, but that allows the tomato to focus more on the formation and production. And all of my tomatoes are loaded. So, show you here. Wonderful productive plants. So this way they can actually fit. I can fit a lot of the tomatoes into the smaller space. As you can see, this one is probably way overplanted, but they're not suffering. They have plenty of space, all of them, and they're all productive. So let me transition here. And this is probably the better example. So here are two large tomato plants. This is the big boy, and this is the Cherokee purple. So on each, I have on the big boy, I have two main stems that split out. On Cherokee purple, I kept three. You can see where I kept them. Three main stems, but you can also see that everything on the bottom is cleaned out. There is no leaves. I cut all of the leaves, so there is a lot of circulation. There is no suckers on them. Here is location of the sucker where it used to be. But look at the loaded plant. Lots and lots and lots of tomatoes. I mean, and we're not talking about just the bottom ones. So on the big boy is a very unique. So it has very large tomatoes, like really large. But the Cherokee purple, it's a little bit smaller tomatoes, but so many more. And it goes all the way up. All of the tomatoes formed. Look at the bounty up here on top. All of these tomatoes have formed. They're all going to get the nutrition they need because the suckers are not taking the extra strength from the tomato plant. Now also, the tomato is about 5.5 feet tall. So I have a trellis. Well, both of the tomato plants are trellis. I have, instead of having a cage, they're anchored on the bottom, and then I have a line running around the stem, and it keeps it up. So that way in the wind they will not snap and they will not bend. This way they have plenty of sunshine. They get a lot of nutrition. They have plenty for the roots. They coexist. They don't bother each other, and they have wonderful conditions to procreate and to create this wonderful bounty fruit. And I'm looking forward to a harvest of all of these tomatoes. Now with cherries, it's even easier. As you can see, I also have a lot of formed cherries of different kinds. With cherry tomatoes, I left a little bit more freedom for them. So they're all formed. I have lovely tomatoes, full trusses. and especially lower ones, they're really loaded trusses. You can see the truss is full of fruit, and I would actually already have picked some. Cherry tomatoes tend to be a little bit bushier, but you can see that even on the top they all formed. So they're still procreating, they're still growing, and they're going to continue growing. So, you can see there is more blooms up on the top. But again, it allows me to plant them very densely and yet still get a lot of produce out of them. I'm going to have lots of tomatoes. These absolutely beautiful. Nice, healthy plants and lots of produce. I hope this helped.